Rahim. Dear students in grade 11, welcome back to those English lessons for students in grade 11. Inshallah, today's lesson will have a new topic, and as we have done with our colleagues or your previous teachers, we will cover a new topic, and we are not gonna to cover unit 5. We will stop there, but we will start to highlight some important things related to exam papers. And since we are running out of the first semester, and you're supposed to be ready to have class test 2, we will have a part of one of the skills which should be a part of this test. Inshallah, in today's lesson, we will have the informative writing. Keep watching. At the end of this lesson, you're supposed to identify different types of informative essays, and you will differentiate between facts and opinions, and you will also practice writing an informative essay. We will do the task together, inshallah, by following a certain procedure. This lesson will follow these steps. We'll start by having a short introduction about this topic. Then we will define the informative essay. After that, we will highlight some different types of informative texts. Then we will compare between facts and opinions, which is a part of the meaning that we have to highlight whenever we talk about informative essay. Then we will explain the layout, the language, and we will have one practice regarding the content that we have in our course book. At the end of this lesson, we will have a short quiz using the Kahoot program, so please prepare your laptops, iPads, or mobile phones that can help you to just cooperate with this competition. Now let's start together. Writing is one of the most important skills that we normally have in English and any other languages. And of course, although it is complicated a little bit and it supports some different usages, we still need to learn and have different highlights about different topics and different kinds of writings. For today's writing, we will have the informative essay. Before we start explaining this type of writing, we need to understand what is the informative essay. Informative essay is a kind of academic writing, which its main purpose is to inform, acknowledge, or tell some important things about a certain topic. It is not necessary to be done or practiced in school. It works in different fields. It is not only for students in schools. It works within students in colleges, universities, and our normal lives. If it is not in English, it would be also in Arabic, because our knowledge or refreshing knowledge and updates about things and topics is a continuous process. So we need to be informed about different things, and we have to know that the type of information that we have in informative essay should be factual. So realistic things, realistic information. There is no pass or no space to have an opinion about anything. Unless we are starting or closing, we will have some supporting or hooks or some details that highlight some personal views. The informative essay follows some different types or have many different types. Here we have some examples. You can see in the screen, we have many different kinds of informative essays. Text structure, we have the descriptive or the definition in which we define something. For example, if we said, what is television? What is cycling? What is history? So the essay should indicate or give us a description or a definition about these topics. We have also problems and solution essay in which we have a certain issue and we need to check or find some different solutions to solve a problem. Sequence and time, which we follow a procedure by doing having steps for doing something, and this is normally comes in, for example, explaining how to play a game, explaining how to do an activity, how to practice exercise, how to do different things. So it needs to have a sequence or a procedure step by step. We also use or reflect informative essay in comparison and contrast whenever we have two contrasted ideas, and we have to analyze the two ideas, have similarities and differences. Also, we have the cause and effect task in which we have some different, we have a problem and we have a result. We have a situation and we have also a result. And we have to make a connection between the two things or solve a situation according to the results or the main event that happened and cause that effect. Okay, now we got the meaning of this writing or assignment. What are the differences between an opinion and fact? As I said before, the informative text include factual information, things which are not an opinion at all. How can we differentiate between opinion and fact? We will see here some different sentences, or we will have a highlight on the differences between opinion and facts. Okay. I don't know why it is. Look at the sentences that we have here. We have running is the best form of exercise. What do you think? Is it an opinion or fact? Running is the best form of exercise. It seems to be someone's expression or someone's view about running. Someone else will say that playing volleyball is the best form of exercise. Some others will say or will mention some different exercises and they will highlight that as the best kind of exercise or the best type of sport. So running is the best form when saying expression, saying that something is the best of anything else that indicate an opinion. So running is the best form of exercise is an opinion statement. Let's see the second sentence. The sun is shining every morning. You can notice that this sentence is related to the environmental rules. It is a common, realistic thing. The sun is shining every morning. There is no two people who have different ideas about this item. We all know that the sun is shining every morning, so it is a factual information. There is no part to have an opinion about this task, so it is a fact. There are 60 seconds in a minute. This is also a factual information or a realistic thing. There is no person will come and say 50 seconds will be in a minute. That is exactly wrong. So all of the people around the world knows that the minute include 60 seconds. So this is a fact, or what do you think? Is it a fact or opinion? It is a factual information. Let's have another one. The last one. birthday parties are more fun than watching movies. As you can see, that birthday parties are more fun. Here we have expressions which indicate opinion or someone's point of view about something. Another person would say that birthday parties are the worst parties that we have in the world, and we cannot say that we will convince him of our idea, but still that birthday parties are more fun than watching movie is an opinion statement. Let's go back to the previous slide just to tell you what is the difference between facts and opinion. As you can see here in the screen, facts are a piece of information which is realistic piece of information. All of the facts can be proved. We can have some different evidence that shows that this is true, and normally all the facts come out at the end of different researches and discoveries, so it can be proved. Objective, it is not mentioned, or it is not related to any person. It is an universal thing, a realistic fact or information. Doesn't it change? We know, as we said before, the sun is shining every morning. We cannot say the sun is shining at the evening, because this is not acceptable. We have here opinions. What is opinions? Opinions are views of a person or a judgment about something. And as we said, that saying this is more fun or this is the best is a judgment by someone, or might be a group of people. There could be some similarities in the point of view, but still there are some differences between also different groups. It can't be proved. There is no realistic items or evidence that shows that this opinion is true. Although we can agree or have different agreements among different groups of people, but still can't be proved. Personal and subjective. This view or judgments normally represent personal thoughts, personal ideas, reflections about something. Say happiness. Happiness is not brought by money. Someone else will say, I can't live without money, and so on. So these are some judgments or point of views which are related to some people, not all, doesn't represent all the people around the world. May differ according to the people. We said that we cannot find an idea that is the same all around the world. Now, we will talk about the layout, the form of informative essay. Of course, you studied different types of assignments, and you got an idea about the opinion task, the email, writing a story. Here we will discuss the layout of the informative text. Here you can see we have three main parts, which are the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In the introduction part, you will have one paragraph. It shouldn't be that much long, and sometimes it can be presented by using only one sentence. What is the introduction? The introduction normally will include a hook. What is the hook? A hook is a short statement that is main purpose, which main purpose is to grab readers' attention, let them be more interested about your topic or about your writing text. So you will write this hook or this short statement, and it could be a question, could be a normal statement, could be quotation from different verses or writings, and you put it between exclamation marks, and then you will start writing the thesis statement or the topic sentence that follows the hook, in which you present the main idea. The topic sentence will start we'll have the hook, then we will mention the topic sentence or the main topic that we want to talk about. And if we want to make the introduction longer, or we need to increase the number of the words that we have, you have a pass to just to increase the number of words, you may add some main ideas. You may have some main ideas related to the topic sentence, or just summarize what you want to mention in the body at the beginning. You will talk, for example, I will talk about advantages and disadvantages of television, and so on. In the body part, students normally get used to have 3 paragraphs, and we can increase this number. We can write more than 3 paragraphs actually, but since we are talking about 100 words in exam paper, we prefer just to have 3 ideas and then increase the number of the words using the details related to these 3 main ideas. Because if we increase the paragraphs, we will need some different details, or might need to have some additional knowledge or facts that might be not covered by a student or not in your hands. So the 3 paragraphs will include, each paragraph of these 3 paragraphs will include a main idea. So here we got 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph, or paragraph number 1, will include a main idea plus 3 or 4 supporting details. So you'll have the topic sentence, we'll talk about topic sentence, then try to support this sentence by adding 3 or 4 sentences which include some additional details. You will do the same within the other 2 paragraphs. In the conclusion part, students supposed also to write another paragraph, which will include a summary of the 3 paragraphs. It might be a summary of the 3 paragraphs that you have in the body part. And then you will add a strong closing statement, which also will leave a good emotion about your reading, about your text in your readers' minds. So here we can notice that at the end we will have 5 main paragraphs. Introduction, 1 paragraph introduction, then we will have 3 paragraphs body, then we will have also 1 paragraph as a conclusion. What kind of a grammar do we need to write informative essay? Of course, when we learn the opinion essay, we talk about our ideas using the mostly present tenses. In informative essay, this is not a must. Using the grammatical rule will depend on the topic that you are talking about. For example, if you are talking about the history of the Sultanate of Oman, you will need to express your ideas. Since you are talking about the past tense or and events that happened in the past, of course you will use the past tenses in its different forms. And if I ask you just to write a topic about, for example, sports or sport programs that we have for youth, of course you will use the present tense, because you are talking about a common idea or talking about an urgent situation which is happening now. So when we come to the grammar, we will have a chance to vary our text between the past tenses and the present tense. Sometimes you may have a collection between the 2 tenses. You may have the past tenses and the present tenses. So choosing the grammatical rule will depend on the kind of information that you want to highlight, or you want to indicate, or you want to tell to your readers. So check what kind of information are you searching for, and use the suitable or the most appropriate grammatical rule. The language that should be used in informative text depends on the type or in which type you are writing for. Let's see here. We got some different types of, as we talk in the introductory part, there are so many different types of informative text. Here we have one, descriptive or definition, and we highlight what is the meaning of descriptive and definition, which highlight a meaning of something, a process or a term or a device, whatever. So the vocabulary or the signal words we need to highlight such topic should be like, for example, involves, can be defined as an example, for instance, and so on. So the descriptive or the definition will need these words. If I have another type, which is problem solution, as we said before, it is the text that states a problem and then suggests one or more solutions. It needs to have different type of vocabulary. Problem is, a solution is, the problem is solved. See that these words are related to the main topic. When we define problem solution, it is a problem, then a text that states a problem and then suggests one or more solutions. See, the words or the definition of this text will include partly some of the vocabulary mentioned in the definition. So we have here solution, we have alternative is, solution, issue. All of them are synonyms, or most of them are synonyms to each other. So you can vary the vocabulary that you can use, or sometimes you may need to use the words repeatedly. So you will have some other synonyms to replace the word, just to make your writing more interesting. We have sequence time, the main ideas, supporting details, or written in a specific order. Then we have here certain vocabulary like first, second, third, now, then, before, and so on. The following, while, things or words that indicate sequence or steps, one, and so on. If we have the comparison and contrast, as we said before, the comparison and contrast indicates some similarities and differences between two things or more. And for that, we need to have words which suit this language, different from, same as, alike, like, similar to, unlike, and so on. If you just want to, you will not find this in your book, you may have a screenshot if you wish to keep the words with you. Cause and effect type, you will need to have, as we said, shows or a relationship between the cause of something and the effect that follows as a result. The words are as follows: so that, because of, thus, unless, and so on. You may have a screenshot just to keep the words in touch if you need them in future, inshallah. And these are the types of the language. Now, here we have a practice. How can we highlight? Here I listed some of the some suggested topics related to your English book, and I took one theme or one topic from each unit or from each theme you have. You have got 4 themes. The first one is talking about the communication, and I stated how does the internet improve communication. The second theme was talking about teenagers, and the statement that we have here: teenagers are the energetic future of each country. Number 3, history of television. It is a part of the first theme, which is communication. And number 4, talk about one of the most interesting innovations that you have in your school. Of course, we are not gonna cover all these topics. We will try to cover the first one. How does the internet improve communication? The first step that we have to highlight whenever we have a writing task, we will check the instructions. Read the instructions clearly. in the exams, we're supposed to write at least 100 words. And we don't have any statements that, unless saying your writing should be clear. So here we will got this title. We will blend the writing together. How does the internet improve communication? The second thing to be done is to read and try to understand the statement that you have in your exam paper. How does the internet improve communication? So the main or the key word that we have here is communication, and the word improve that indicate different stages of moving through communication skills. And the other is how does the internet improve communication? So we will have a relationship between, we will explain the relationship between internet and communication in different stages. As we said before, each essay or written or informative text will include introduction, one paragraph, then we will have body part, which will include 3 paragraphs, as you can see here in the screen, paragraph number 1, 2, and 3. This is the body. And the last paragraph will be the conclusion statement. Let's see. I suggested here some different opinions related to the topic that we have here in green at the above the page. The introduction should include a hook and a definition or defining communication. Of course, I choose to define communication at the beginning. You may choose some other things to start with. This planning is mine. I'm just showing you how to do it, but you may suggest some different ideas to start with and even to choose the hook that suits your mind. You'll start a hook, so we will have 2 sentences. A hook, and we will define communication. If we need to add some other sentences, we will support the topic sentence or the definition of communication with 2 or 3 sentences. In the body part, I choose 3 ideas. Paragraph number 1 will talk about methods of communication before the internet. That means this process will indicate skills or communication activities that we have in the past. Paragraph number 2, the early stages of using technology for communication. Now we start to prepare ourselves to the main idea. How did we start, or where did we start when the internet established first? The early stages of using technology for communication. Paragraph number 3, this is the body, as I said before. This is the body part. Varied social media programs. So we will use the internet just to establish some different applications that enhance communication between people around the world. At the end, we will close the essay by stating a summary which should be related to the 3 ideas that we mentioned in the body, and we will have a closing statement that will leave or should leave a good level of interest on our reader. Let's talk about the language. Since we are talking about a topic which indicates some different stages starting from the past until now, and even somehow we may express some statements or expressions using the future forms. So the first paragraph, since we are defining communication, communication is an urgent topic which is still found everywhere. So we will use the present tense. Methods of communication before the internet. Now, it is the age of internet. We are not talking about the current situation. We talk about people's methods of communication in the past before they have the internet. So the tenses or the grammar that should be used here should be the past tense. Then if we have the second paragraph, look at the second paragraph. It will talk about the early stages of using technology for communication. That indicate I'm talking about the stage that we start using internet. But are we now in the same stage? Of course, no. We pass a very big period of time since we start using the internet at the beginning. So here we will express this paragraph using also the past tense. Then let's move to paragraph number 3, varied social media programs. It is the age of using social programs or social activities or social media programs. So we have nowadays, for example, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Snapchat. We have so many different social programs which are still there, and we use them in our daily routine. So since we are talking about current topic which is used and it is found nowadays, we will use the present tense to express these ideas. The summary and the closing statements depend on you. What kind of statements would you mention at the end? Here I mentioned some statements related to the present tense, and I used some expressions using some future forms. As you can see, the grammar is collection of different tenses. We got the present tenses, past tenses, and we have the some future forms. So it depends on the writer, what he wants to say, what kind of information he wants to inform to the readers. The language that we will use in this type of writing, as we said, we are talking about communication, and we define communication. We mentioned some different examples about communication skills in the past and present and so on. So we will need to express different types of vocabulary. I chose here 2 types or 2 categories which we mentioned before. Like, for example, involves can be defined, let's say, communication can be defined as, and so on. For instance, whenever we need to mention some examples, there were many different kinds of communication activities in the past. So, for instance, also they used for example, fire just to saw and ask for help and so on. We may also use the expressions related, since we are talking about different stages of improvement using the internet in communication. How internet improve communication? We can notice that the statement indicate different stages of improvement. So say first, second, then, after that, before, next, finally, and so on. While, last, and so on. Just to combine the sequence or the process of improvement or the development of using internet for communicative purposes. Here we have the hawk and the thesis statement. Look at the hawk in the screen. I will change the color because I used here red. Communicating with other people is a natural activity that improves creators' needs and cooperation. I intended this statement just to catch the reader's attention. Let them read my essay. Let them be more interested to have an idea what is between lines. So this is the hook, and then I will add the thesis statement or the topic sentence. It is defined as you can notice, I use one of the vocabulary or the language that we have to define something. It is defined as the process by which people exchange their information, thoughts, and behavior through speech, writings, or signs. This is for the introduction. This is the introduction. Now let's move. I will not move to the body directly. I'll just skip to this summary or to the conclusion, just to make it easier. Now you got a hook and a main topic or a topic sentence for the introduction. Of course, if I need to increase some other details, I may have some start from the general ideas and mention some details related to the definition, if you wish, in the introduction part. So you may add 3 or 4 sentences. But since you are dealing with 100 words, as I mentioned before, it is preferable to be as short as possible. The summary or the conclusion. Here we will talk about the conclusion. In which we'll have a summary of what we mentioned in the body and closing statements. I showed you before the different topic sentences we have in each paragraph or in the body part. And I wrote the summary statement by using, to sum up, look at the language. To sum up, since we are closing the essay, to sum up, the internet adapted people's communicative skills by moving through different stages. Is it a new idea? Of course not. It refers to the main body or to the 3 paragraphs that we have in the body. We mentioned 3 different stages, starting by communication activities before the internet, early stages of the internet, and then we close or we have a paragraph related to the social media or the current communicative applications. The closing statement, as we said, should leave a good opinion, a good information or a good interest about the topic. That will never, look at the language or look at the grammar, that will never be the end of the technological applications, and they will always customize their communicative practice. So we are talking about people that will keep changing since we are updating some different applications related to communication. Now, we will focus on the main part, which is the body. Of course, most of the 100 words will focus on this part. Since we are talking about the 3 paragraphs, each paragraph will include a topic sentence. Each paragraph will have a topic sentence and 3 or 4 other supporting details. Of course, the supporting details should be a part of this topic. We are not gonna mention some different ideas. All the information, this topic sentence or this 4 supporting details should be 5 sentences which present the same idea or give a clarification or more examples about the same topic. Look at here. What are the 3 paragraphs? The first paragraphs talk about methods of communication before the internet. The second paragraph will talk about the early stages of using technology for communication. And the third paragraph is talking about varied social media programs. Of course, we will have mapping, or we will try to have some outlines before we start writing. We know that ideas can be organized better by having a side or a draft organization or outlines that can help you put your sentences in a good procedure, and you can fix what is needed before you start writing the original text. Look at the first paragraph. Here I stated 3 different things related to the methods of communication before the internet. It might be talk about traditional type of communicative activities. It could be talk about some examples like signs, drawings, and languages. It also may talk about some types of traditional things like traveling and letters. So all of these might be mentioned in the same topic. Sometimes if you wish to have the same topic sentences, you can vary your ideas by yourself. You can choose whatever you want to write, since the ideas or the details you want to mention are related to the topic sentence or the main sentence. Look at the second one, the early stages. Here we may talk about the telegram, we may talk about public calling services, we may talk about private phones and emailing system, because we just at the beginning we started with these things. When it starts to have the connection between people, it starts with those simple things. Then look at the third paragraph. Varied social media programs. We may talk about some applications which are used in mobile phones, applications like, as I mentioned before, in Instagram, Twitter, Snap, and so on, WhatsApp, and whatever. We may refer that all these social media programs led to have some global connections between people. Now we can communicate with different people around the world without having any obstacles, since we have screens. And since the topic is related to what is happening nowadays, we are studying by using platforms. So we are applying the internet even in our educational system. It is an urgent situation nowadays, but still we have some different platforms that support the idea of using internet to have a link between different organizations, different institutes, different ministries, and different people. Let we check if we have covered all the points that we have here. I just have, okay. We had the introduction, we defined the informative essay. We got also different types of informative text. We compare between facts and opinion. We got the layout and language, and we got practice. And here we will move to have the competition or the quiz. And let's check if you got some interesting information from this informative type of speaking or informative show, and put in your minds, informative texts are not focused in writing form. We can have many informative types, many informative texts like speaking, reading, and writing. So we'll keep, because we need to, listening also is a part of this system. We can have also speaking a part of as a part of informative speeches, like for example workshops and so on. So it is a practical task that we need to highlight in its different shapes, either to be writing, reading, listening, or speaking. Now let's move to have the Kahoot quiz together. Keep looking to the screen just to grab the pen. Okay, we are there. We'll wait students just to join the competition. It is very easy. It is also good to refer that we have all the informative texts will answer some factual questions. It needs to have a real one answer only. One answer. There are no two answers for the certain question. Very good. Now students started to join the competition. Good students.
Maria, 3 dots. The second position and the first position is with Khalid. Congratulations, Khalid. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for keep watching this lesson. Hope to find it enjoyable. Thank you very much and goodbye.